Hi there, I'm Tom with the Binky Brothers, and this is the Dirty Binky Video Blog and Podcast. Uh, Today's episode is titled Freedom. It's going to be about freedom, my opinion on it, and how I feel we view freedom as American citizens in American society today. We'll go ahead and start. Many people in our history have written passionately about freedom. During the Enlightenment, many authors, such as Locke and More, wrote about human rights and freedom as if it were something that should be guaranteed to man simply because he exists. This is something that, though I find very appealing, I find very difficult to swallow. A patriot to freedom, he's considered great by many and admired dearly by me, Thomas Jefferson, wrote that all men were guaranteed the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This lives in the hearts of all Americans as every day we reap the freedom that he and so many others sacrificed so much for. Though many had to die and many hours were spent away from loved ones, in the end freedom prevailed. But if not for the sacrifice of lives, of families, fathers and sons, the freedom which we so selfishly hold would not be there for us to take for granted. This man also stated that from time to time, the tree of liberty must be nourished with the blood of patriots and tyrants. To me, if you look through history at the Spartans and eventually the entire of Greece who fought so bravely for their freedom, if you look at Gandhi, who sacrificed more than his life through death, but a life of dedication to his people, we cannot truly say that freedom is a right guaranteed to man. It seems that in order to understand freedom, you must understand oppression, or at least sacrifice and responsibility. I mean, what is freedom without sacrifice? What is freedom without responsibility? What is freedom without an understanding of it? Our great Mr. Franklin, Jefferson, Washington, they sacrificed themselves. Time, lives, health, soldiers. There was a price to be paid for what they wished to create. It was a price that they knew all too well. Is it a price that you can even comprehend? We talk about World War II, a breeding ground for heroes, and I'm not talking about heroes in the literal sense, but the best of humanity brought out in one of its worst creations, war. The liberation of Jews, and not to mention entire countries like Poland and Czechoslovakia, what possibly could have been the entire of Europe, was a high point in the existence of freedom. Many people today can still feel the sacrifices that were made for the freedom of these people and places. Fathers, sons, brothers fought to preserve what we have so longed for as a species. But why is it that we must achieve freedom only through war? Could peace, compassion, or kindness create such an effect? And shouldn't they? Today people are interested less in what they have and interested more in what they want. Freedom today seems not a priority to many, and I say this because they do so much in the name of conformity. By watching advertisements and listening to music that preaches a contradictory lifestyle to that of what we should long for in the name of peace and happiness, we become subject to the forfeit of the most important freedom of all, our free will. As well, a man who turns a blind eye to something that in his heart he knows to be wrong sacrifices his pursuit of happiness and possibly another person's liberty. But don't the advertising companies sacrifice these for us well, record producers? Don't they sacrifice these rights for us as well? By allowing mind-poisoning garbage to be fed to us by the spoonfuls, not only allowing it, but oftentimes paying for it to happen. My answer is yes and no. Because it is what we ask for. It is what we watch. It is what we listen to, and unfortunately, it seems to be what we crave. Deception, infidelity, drug abuse, alcoholism, simply put, drama. These are, while you're outside looking in, our top priority. If you turn on a radio station dedicated to playing most listened to or popular music of our day, in only 10 minutes will you hear of casual sex, recreational drug abuse, and undoubtedly infidelity. These are things as civil beings that should not be glorified or even accepted, especially by our adults, but sadly our children are being poisoned by it as well. The greatest triumph of evil is the indifference of good men. This simple quote says it all. When we can look away from wrongdoings, accept the benefits of such crimes against humanity, and even create such crimes, is the day we lose the game of life. But wait, I ask, haven't we already lost it? Many of Hitler's men despised him, though they carried out his orders. When he set his eyes on Poland and Czechoslovakia, did our own allied powers not only allow it, but entrust them to him? Free men women, and children should not be something that can be simply given away in the name of appeasement. Although the Allied powers eventually saw Hitler's true goal, and took the right action to prevent it. But as well, don't lawyers knowingly defend companies that poison their customers or give them a less than satisfactory service? Do big tobacco companies not sell self-destruction rolled into a highly addictive cancer stick, while our own government exploits it for financial gain through taxation? I mean, do drug abusers not manufacture and sell products already knowing the effects from personal use that spread the epidemic that has already spiraled rapidly out of our control? These are things that we are doing to ourselves in an already hostile existence. Not only doing, but we're allowing it to happen. When I talk about crimes against humanity, I don't mean just genocide or mass murders. I'm talking about giving away rights. Your rights and the rights of your peers, spouses, and children. Child and spouse abuse, exposing children to violence and alcoholism, forcing violence among a culture, stealing another person's earned bread in any form. These are all crimes against humanity. Infidelity, dishonesty, introducing mind and life-changing drugs into a society, murder, crimes that all violate a person's human rights to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Why allow our founding fathers to fight, their sons to die, and their mothers and daughters to weep, only to allow blasphemy of the chance that they so selflessly gave to us? Is it the sacrifice you face? Freedom will always mean sacrifice, because the easiest way to what you want will most likely violate another person's rights. But understanding can be a powerful tool and can help you see why other people's rights are infinitely more important than what you want. Simply think about your rights and what you would be willing to give away, what you would be willing to truly sacrifice. Treat everyone else's rights the same way. We all understand the importance, I'm going to go on to a quote here. We all understand the importance of peace and compassion, though the actions to reach them do not always agree with what is required for what we want. Want is one of the only human defects I've yet to understand. I do know, however, that there are people in this world who can see past their wants to what they know is truly right, and force their actions to take that course as well. I wrote this in Ableism, A Tools for a Better Life, in March of 2007, in my attempt to try and better the world a little bit with understanding and knowledge. And it's something I just wanted to share. I think it is relevant to that. There's a time for action, and many times in life, or a time for inaction. If you look outside your window as you drive and actually take notice of the world around you, it's time for action. It's time for a big change. It's time today to change your life, to become a role model, to help show people that they can have what they want while respecting other people's rights. It is time to stand up and give tribute to our fallen ancestors, not through songs or elaborate memorials, but by simply creating a life and living a life that supports the sacrifices that they made for us, that we may be allowed the opportunity to thrive. Stop talking about what we can do to change the world. Stop telling yourself one person cannot make a difference. Stop waiting for another to take the first step. Start doing the things you know can help better our world. Start looking deep inside of yourself for the strength to make a difference. Start paving your own path instead of following in the footsteps of a self-destructive society. Today is a good day for change. Every day is a good day for change. This will conclude episode 2 on freedom of our Dirty Binky podcast and video blog. Thank you all for tuning in, and hope our next episode will find you soon. You guys have a good one. And remember, religion, you can keep that, Dirty Binky.